enough. You're not a tough guy.
Hurry up.
I promise you that.
Hurry up.
He's pretty tough.
Not that.
No, he's
tough.
not.
Not that.
Not.
Tough.
He's not
No,
tough.
he's pretty tough.
He's not.
Tough.
You're not tough.
Hey, don't,
You're not tough.
Let's get going.
Get going.
Or you can play behind us all, and you can take all the time you want.
It's literally golf.
You're not tough.
This is golf.
This is not
Yeah,
golf.
it's not.
You can stand
It's
there
golf,
15 minutes.
You
That's
can't
not
even.
golf.
You guys can stand
up.
and tee your ball up now.
Yeah, no, he's teeing up, man. That's fine.
He's not teeing it up. He's standing
Do
there.
we need police out here?
No, we don't need police. We're not.
Okay, then let's get going here.
Let's go. Pick it up and get going. This is not fun.
Yeah, leave him fine.
We're what? I'm going to throw him in this lake is what's going to happen. No, you both. This is They've been sitting there for 23 minutes.
I'll cry about it. Cry about it.
I'm going to
Cry about it.
cry. I'm a
Okay, let's pause for a second. This drunk guy is talking smack to this guy, former National Hockey League enforcer Nick Tarnasky. Here's the rest.
Cry about it.
buddy. You're going to get
I don't give a
badly.
good. Let's go, man.
Buddy, you don't want to go me.
No, I'm not filming this. I'm not stopping. No,
I don't know what
you guys need to get off the golf course. No, now.
Don't know
Pack
what
up. Go now.
Don't know
Get in your car and go.
I don't know what you're doing. You're not scaring anybody. You're just making
I don't.
yourself.
Hey, man. Come on, man.
Hey. Hey.
Off to a good start, buddy. I told you.
Man, leave him alone.
You want another?
You came at
Leave him
me.
alone, man.
I got it all on record.
It's around the golf.
I got it all on record.
Around the golf.
Bang.
Hey,
You want to go, guys?
leave him alone. Hey, leave him alone, man.
I wouldn't keep going back, you moron.
Hey,
Bang.
come on, man.
Bang.
No, I'm not trying to get in there. Like, just.
Enough. Are you still cheering on me? Enough. Get out.
Hey.
Enough.
Things going well for
Hey.
him.
Leave him.
Get him the out of here.
He just.
No, it's not going to go well for him.
It's not okay.
Take him home or get him
I asked
fucking
him
out of
to get moving. I said stop looking like an idiot.
Get out of here.
Now, while the fight was what it was, the comments did not disappoint. Someone screenshotted the dude in the Hawaiian shirt getting his behind handed to him when he was midair, being thrown. And then there was another. I told you they didn't disappoint. One commenter wrote, so drunk he can't tee up a ball, decides to fight a guy a foot taller and 50 to 75 pounds heavier. This exchange also made me laugh. This might literally be the most humiliating beatdown I've ever seen. Reply, he kept getting up though. He has that Rocky level heart. Now, as this news broke, Tarnasky's current employer, which is Red Deer Minor Hockey, where he coaches the U17 squad, well, they say they're looking into it. They told TMZ this. At this time, given that we understand the matter is being reviewed by local policing authorities and we are conducting our own internal investigation into the alleged incident, we will have no further comments. It is said to have all gone down at Alberta Springs Golf Resort in Alberta, Canada. We had a good idea from the accents that it certainly did occur in the fine country of Canada, which will never, ever, 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 ever be the 51st state, let me be clear. From the Edmonton Journal, Tarnasky, 40, from Rocky Mountain House, Alberta, is listed at 6'2", 230 pounds. That's when he played. So he's probably, I have to believe, put on a little bit more weight considering what we saw from that video. He had a lot of fights in his 13 years of pro hockey. He played 245 games in the National Hockey League with the Tampa Bay Lightning and Florida Panthers. He docked 297 penalty minutes. He fought other really tough players, including Zenon Konopka, Milan Lucic, Mike Commodore, Matt Green, Colton Orr, Tanner Glass, Aaron Asham, and Zach Stortini. I also saw a fight with Kevin Westgarth. Like, why would you want to mess with this dude? So, where to even begin? I mean, I got a lot to say about this. First off, there has been a quote that I live by. No one wins in a fight unless, of course, it's sanctioned. And someone goes in handcuffs or someone goes to the hospital. Nobody wins. With that being said, there also needs to be this counterbalance to the toxicity of bro-y machismo culture. Because this guy really thought that he was going to do something while probably on his 12th beer of the day, thinking that he could take on a guy who appeared to be twice his size. Why? Why? Some of you probably would have shown restraint. Some of you probably would not put yourself in this position. Others would think, because of what a buddy of mine used to call it, the devil's nectar, it's going to give you a false sense of confidence. And that's exactly what we saw. There also needs to be a reckoning of, yeah, I can't take on everybody. Because you don't know what that person is trained in, whether it is judo, whether it is boxing, etc. This was a FAFO moment, but hilariously, seeing this guy take a running start and having his momentum used against him to be thrown in a pond on a golf course was, beautiful. It just was. The second part about this, his buddy saying, oh, he's tough. He's tough. Then in the span of 20 seconds, after hyping up his boy, he says, come on, man, take it easy. Come on, man, stop, take it easy. It's like the episode from The Simpsons where Bart is like, stop, he's already dead. Third, and lastly, or I don't even know how many numbers I'm on, who cares? This team should not punish this man because he acted in self-defense. Did he take it to a point that it didn't have to go? Yes, I agree. But this dude charging at him, what do you want him to do? Hold his hand out, put his hand on his head while the dude is just swinging and flailing his arms left and right? He defended himself, and he stood up against somebody that probably needed to get their behind kicked that day to prove a point. Number one, don't consume as much alcohol as you do. Secondly, golf is supposed to be a fun sport where you get away from the house, kick it with the boys, etc. And third, stop trying to fight people on golf courses. That's all there is to it.
Anyone who claims to be a Christian has to be anti-MAGA, or else you're not truly following the teachings of Jesus Christ. You cannot follow Jesus, who told us to welcome the stranger, while also advocating to close our borders to immigrants and refugees. You cannot follow Jesus, who told us to feed those who are hungry and give drink to those who are thirsty, while also advocating to cut programs that give food and drink to those who are hungry and thirsty. You cannot claim to follow Jesus, who went around and provided health care for free while also advocating for cuts to health care. You cannot claim to follow Jesus, who spent his entire life going around and teaching people while also cutting education. You cannot claim to follow Jesus, who spent his entire ministry giving hope to the poor while also advocating for an economic system that takes money from the poor and gives it to billionaires. Yes, I'm an anti-MAGA preacher because everything that claims to make America great again is bad for the kingdom of God, the reign of God on this earth. If you're a Christian, be anti-MAGA.
Caleb J. Lyons, an ordained minister with standing in the Christian Church, Disciples of Christ, the United Church of Christ, and the Progressive Christian Alliance. He also serves as the senior minister of University Christian Church in San Diego, the co-executive director of the Center for Progressive Christianity, and co-host of the Moonshine Jesus Show. Has something to say.
You know, a lot of times Christian nationalists like to point to Scripture in an attempt to say that we ought to submit to the will of Donald Trump because it's actually the will of God. At the top of the list of the scripture they like to use is Romans 13, in which Paul writes a letter to the Christians in Rome and tells them that they ought to submit to authority because those authority figures are appointed by God, that they ought to pay their taxes, and that they ought to generally keep quiet. Here's the thing. Paul was writing to Christians in Rome in the first century, not to us. And he was writing in a very specific context. You see, Paul thought that the world was going to end in his lifetime. He thought that Jesus was coming on back to clean everything up and to punish the Roman authorities who were oppressing his people. Spoiler alert, Paul was wrong. The world didn't end, and Jesus did not come on back. If Paul had known that his words would have been misconstrued by those in power to oppress others, he would have been horrified. This is one of the dangers of taking Scripture out of context and trying to apply it blindly to our situation. Early Christians were living under the heel of the Roman Empire. They were living under threat of oppression and persecution. That's why so many early Christians were crucified. In fact, the biblical text is one that is about loyalty to God, to love, to justice, over and against authority of an oppressive state. That's the lesson we should be learning from the biblical text.
You get blasted by Fox News and have no choice but to respond.
Last week I made it on Fox News because I used RoboCop as a tool to talk about the militarization of police and ICE, and the Fox commentators were beside themselves. Let's take a look.
I wish pastors would stick to the gospel and leave politics and Halloween costumes at home. People can also put a mask on with no collar and bad theology, Charlie, and present themselves as pastors.
Yeah, because Fox News commentators are experts on what's good theology.
This guy, this is so whacked out. Poor Pastor Caleb. I'm glad he wasn't doing a church blood drive. Why is he dressed as something that he's opposing? That's what I can't figure out here.
This is clearly coming from someone who didn't watch or listen to the sermon, just like they clearly didn't watch RoboCop, because it is in and of itself a satire of the militarization of police. You know, much like I wish that Fox News was a satire of the right in the United States instead of actually feeding in lies and misinformation that cause people to go further to the right.
And I also don't get, is that like a Pride altar thing that he's got going there?
Yes.
It seems.
Yes, he's got the Pride Month altar.
Yes, that's because we recognize that absolutely everyone is created in the image and likeness of God.
And the retirement home congregation, they're all older than dirt. They don't know who RoboCop is. He should have dressed as Mike Hammer or something, Elliot Ness.
I don't remember.
Something that age group would know.
My congregation's actually pretty young, but I don't care what age people are. I want everyone to have a welcoming place to be. But the average Fox News viewer, over 65, white, and male. So maybe they're talking to their own demographics?
Yeah, I don't remember this from Vacation Bible School.
This was found in a segment on Fox News between clips where they were making fun of someone for being overweight on a plane and making fun of the LA Times for providing tips on how to protect undocumented people against the militarized ICE raids in LA. So I'll leave it to you to determine if you think people who are standing on behalf of the marginalized are closer to the message of Jesus, or people who are sitting in a chair in front of a camera on a network that has been shown over and over again to spread lie after lie as they make fun of people on national TV.
And as conservatives attack LGBTQ plus rights,
I would argue that this year is perhaps the most important year to celebrate Pride. You know that it is only June 1st, and so far this year, there have been over 850 pieces of legislation that are anti-LGBTQ that have been introduced in states all over the country. That is the most ever in U.S. history. Of those 850, at least 54 of those have become law. So to say that there is active persecution is an understatement, even. It is terrifying. And so it is more important than ever to remember that Pride was a riot, that Pride was resistance, that pride was an act of retaliation. And so pride today, too, is not just a symbol of hope, but it is an act of resistance, particularly against systems that oppress.
Pastor Lines rebukes it completely.
Having tax on folks who have a certain income level, I think, is a very wise decision. And I think whenever we're allowing people to accumulate so much wealth without additional taxes, like, that's very problematic. I think this is also true whenever we're thinking about things like folks who have accumulated extreme amounts of wealth, like billionaires in our society. I'm of the opinion that, once you hit that $1 billion mark, we can declare that you have won capitalism. Congratulations, you're the winner, and every red cent that you make over that $1 billion is going to the people. So I appreciate you, Richard, too, because we need people like you, people who are unafraid to call people who are in power out, people who are willing to work for the folks like you talked about in your hometown, and most of Americans who are really struggling right now. Americans are very much struggling.
He even sat down with TYT contributor Richard Ojeda and preached a lot of what we do here on this platform.
I don't know how this is going to play out.
We're still making America great.
Huh?
We're still making America great.
Shut up. You are outnumbered. That couldn't wait to say that. You could have said that 10 minutes ago. She finally couldn't take it. You can't tell white people not to express themselves. That had enough of this. He's making America great. I will with a MAGA hat on. You be confused as a mother. I'll give you some good racist black. You on the back talking like Obama. Now I'm gonna make this good. I'm gonna love you like I love my daughter, Sasha Love. She couldn't take it, man. What's your name, sweetie? Kathy. Who you with, Kathy? Is your husband? Yeah, y'all should leave now. Cause there's about 30 in here that's gonna beat you to your car.
When it comes to crowd work, comedian Aries Spears is great at it.
You the one that don't realize where you're at.
My people didn't realize where we were at when we won that boat. So give us that back too, mother. He really thought he said some just now.
I did.
No, you didn't, mother.
I did.
Did you hear the audience laugh when you said what you said?
What I said.
It does matter. And you
know where you at.
You screaming don't make you right, sucker. I can feel that white rage coming through. You know where you at now? Out of here. Hey, 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 hey. Let's smoke a peace pipe. Let's make some peace. I got it, baby. Felt like a Klan rally. Get out!
The know where you are at line would send any right-thinking person into a spiral, to be clear. Remember this dude, though?
I love those pink signs. Women for Trump. I love the signs behind me. Blacks for Trump. I like those signs. Blacks for Trump. You watch. You watch. Those signs are great. Thank you.
The Blacks for Trump guy?
Thank you so much for being here with us. Tell me a little bit about why you guys decided to come to the courthouse here in Miami.
We came here to defend Trump like the immortals defended King Cyrus. Yes. And they had the mask on that was made of brass with them thick noses and thick lips. They were black men. Yes. And that's for the purpose of showing that Trump is not a colonizing racist like Cyrus was not. So I'm the ultimate black supremacist in their mind, which is a lie. Trump is supposed to be the ultimate white racist, which is both a lie. But when we stand together, it cancels that lie out because these are real black people here.
Well, Spears would have a word for that dude, Michael Simonette.
It disgusts me what I see a lot of my people doing right now. Black men for Trump.
There's a lot of that.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, you said
some of y'all would be so comfortable on a plantation.
You said it seems like all the black men on the right got their tap shoes on.
Yeah, it's jazz hands time. You know? Listen, I don't say what you will, and I don't want to get too deep politically, but I'll just say that, you know, white folks have had a history in this country of supporting their own no matter what. So I just don't see why black people, we can't have that same ability. I know there are a lot of black women who do, but I would think that as a black woman, how great of a statement would it be to have a woman president? So one, you break that glass ceiling, but then it's a black woman on top of that.
Yeah.
So you accomplish two powerful statements at once. I would like to see that. Historically, I think that would be great.
It would have been over what we're seeing now. Spears would continue attacking Trumpism as well. On Instagram, he wrote, "This is why it makes me sick to my stomach when I hear black people say, 'What did Obama do for us? He wasn't Trump. That's what he did for us.' Because if he was, some of white America would have never let us live it down. Obama was eloquent, intelligent, classy, efficient, and was black excellence. Some of white America got upset over a tan suit. Imagine if Barack Obama behaved like Donald Trump. Imagine if Barack Obama incited January 6th. First off, I would love to have Aries Spears on my podcast, The Rick Strom Show. Go sub to it on YouTube. Find it on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Would love that conversation. Secondly, keep calling these people out, please. This is not only entertainment, but the artistic takedown of someone who is a professional on a stage that they go and pay to see is truly remarkable, and also, in a way, quite beautiful. His comments about Obama, I agree and disagree. I agree that, like, yeah, not being Donald Trump is great. Would you say the same of Michael Bloomberg? You know, would you say the same of, I don't know, what was Howard Schultz? Like, so you have a billionaire white guy centrist. Like, are you going to say the same about Andrew Cuomo? Like, he's not Trump, but also he could be a benefactor of Trump donors? Like, I'm not a huge fan of following that line, but what I will say is, yeah, he was pretty good. Which for us is like Hall of Fame worthy, because all we've had is doo-doo for presidents in this country. What did Andre 3000 say? They tell me I need to get out and vote. Why? Ain't nobody black running a cracker, so why? I got to register. I'm thinking the better stuff to do with my time. Never smell the aroma of diploma, but I get it. So, like, I get where he's coming from, and I understand it, but I can also say, like, I don't know. I'm hopelessly optimistic that Zoran is going to win, because I said this in a previous video and I will say it again. I believe New York City could lead the way in a seismic shift politically in this country, where we have socialistic tendencies and policies that will benefit us and not the 1%. And let me also be clear about something. If you hear someone say, well, if you have socialist tendencies and practices, then the billionaires are going to leave. That is mind-numbing BS that is manufactured by the billionaire class as scare tactics. That is all they're doing. So I'm curious where Aries Spears falls as it pertains to the mayoral race, because he rocks the Yankees hat all the time. Yankee hat all the time. He's from the East Coast. I don't think I've seen a post about it, but keep doing what you're doing with the Trump supporters, because we are here for it.